This is Peter Mowen demonstrating Homework 1 for Data and Computer Communications.
So for homework one, we had to do HTTP programming using any language we know to create a RESTful website that should handle HTTP GET and PUT requests. And then we have to use HTTP flooding on our own website and record its responses. So I followed the tutorial that the professor suggested from Spring on building REST services with Spring and built their simple payroll application in the Spring Tool Suite. I updated the employee class though to include a new data member called booktext and updated the database column so that it could hold all of the characters in this book and wrote a method to just read in all of the just to read in this textbook or read in this book. It's not a textbook, it's actually one of the Expanse novels. To read in this book and store it in a string. I also updated their load database to change the entry to James Holden and put his role as captain, and that's the captain of the Rocinante from the Expanse series. I also updated the application properties to only allow I changed the max number of connections to 1 just to make flooding a little bit easier. That's also why I added this book text data member. It's just so that whenever I make an HTTP request, it takes a little bit longer to get a response. So if we go into our browser, we can just take a look. We're on the local host. This is running locally. It's running on port 8080, and this is the employees. And as you can see, we've got James Holden, who's the captain, and then here's the text from the book. It's a bunch of text, so it'll take a little bit of time to get a response, an HTTP response. So we can use curl to add an employee. And so our response included the book text, which is all the text of this book, and it just fills up the terminal window. So I've shown that we can do HTTP GET and HTTP PUT. We can also come here and use curl to get all of our employees. And again, we don't really see a whole lot because it's just this wall of text that is the book. So to test flooding, I just created a simple bash script that just runs that curl command that I just showed that returns the list of employees. And I'm just going to run it on a bunch of terminal instances on my computer. So even with 2 running, you can see it takes a little bit more time. Like if I stop this one I just started, this just continuously, it's just continuously getting the list of employees. As soon as I run the second one, they have to take turns. And the more of these I run, the longer each one of these has to wait. So with 8 of these instances going, see it just takes a long time. By a long time, I mean a few seconds for these guys to get a response. However, none of them are timing out, which is good.